Hello, Alex here with Maple Systems. Do you need a mobile maintenance tablet with all the power of an HMI? Well, you're in luck, because today we're looking at Maple Systems' new cMT3106XM. Let's get into it. The cMT3106XM features a 10.1-inch screen with a viewing angle of up to 178 degrees, both vertically and horizontally, and a lightweight handheld design with an ergonomic hand strap, so operators can carry this screen for as long as they need to without getting tired. It also features a built-in physical e-stop button, as well as a built-in key switch and a 3-position switch for enhanced security and safety. The cMT3106XM comes with options for either a 6-meter or 10-meter, that's 20-foot or 33-foot tether cable, and allows for a built-in SQL database, a built-in OPC UA server, and all of the powerful connections offered by EB Pro, allowing you to stay connected even when walking around your machine. It has an operating temperature range of 32 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, and is resistant to 4-foot drops as well as vibrations, allowing it to stand up to harsh industrial environments where you'd need operators to carry them around. So before we begin unboxing the cMT3106XM, you'll note that on our website, there's a built-in configurator, which will allow you a choice between 2 different kinds of connection boxes for the cMT3106XM. The first one being a standard connection box, like so, or a compact connection box. And both of these have different ways of mounting and wiring them, so we'll go over those in just a second. But first, let's go over the cMT3106XM itself. So right off the bat, we have our Maple Systems warranty, and right under that, we'll have a quick installation guide, which will give you a couple of tips on how to use the cMT3106XM, as well as how to connect it to one of our connection boxes, and so on. And then we have the cMT3106XM itself, wrapped in anti-static wrap. And there she is. And this model was the one that comes with a 6-meter connection cable. You can also get a 10-meter version. Also in the box are keys that will help you operate the keyed switch on the cMT3106XM. And we have a wall mount. The way this guy works is you'll mount it to the wall right here through these holes. And then as it's mounted to the wall, you'll take your cMT and hook it on right there. And so you'll be able to hang up the 3106XM while it's not in use onto a wall mount right here, which is very handy. So let's go over the cMT3106XM itself before we get into the connection boxes. To start, you have this big old e-stop button right here, which you can thunk in and pull out to enable and disable e-stop functionality. We have a keyed switch here, which you can enter in the included key, turn it back, and you can only remove it when it's in the left position. Good to note. Then on the back, here we have the hand strap, which is very ergonomic. It feels nice in the hand. And that'll land your hand right here on the 3-position enable switch. This switch will have 3 positions, as it says. There's unpressed, slightly pressed, and full press. This switch will only be a closed circuit on a soft press. Full press and no press will be an open circuit when you have it wired up in the connection box. And then finally on the back, we have a panel here where you can unscrew these screws here to get at the RTC battery, as well as an SD card and a USB Type-A slot. The USB Type-A slot is really good for loading projects onto the cMT itself, and then the SD card slot is really good for dumping data from data sampling, etc. And then we'll go into the connection boxes. So to start, let's go over the standard connection box. And like usual, there's the warranty. And here is an installation guide for the connection box. This will go over how to mount it, as well as the wiring of the terminals inside the box. And then here's the box itself. Take it out of its anti-static wrap. And here you can see there aren't any visible terminals on here, but you have these 4 ports here on the front. And if I go ahead and open this up, then you can see the terminals inside and how you would wire them. The way that this one would work is you would mount this connection box to the wall next to your cabinet, and then you would wire out all of these terminals as you need them and have them go out these ports on the front or bottom. Yeah, the bottom. And then that would hook it back up to this connector switch, which is how you would connect the cMT3106XM. From this connection port at the end of the 6-meter cable, I would just plug it in like so. And then anything you wire up to these terminals would get pushed through the connection cable to the HMI itself. And then to disconnect, I'm gonna pull down and pull it out. So now let's go over the other option you have for connecting your cMT3106XM, the compact connector box. As per usual, we have our warranty and the installation guide, which goes over the same things as our standard connection box, where it'll give you mounting instructions as well as a pinout for all of the terminals. And then here's the box itself. And you'll notice an immediate difference. The bottom of this box, or I guess the inside of this box, has its terminals exposed right out the gate, as opposed to this one, which hides its terminals inside the box itself. This box is meant to be mounted directly to your cabinet, where you have your PLC and everything else in there, and you would directly wire these terminals to those in the cabinet itself, and sort of cleanly hide the wires in the cabinet itself. And then, as before, connect your cMT to the box, like so. And then all of the things that are wired here on these terminals would go out to your PLC and such. And while we're on that topic, you can see here all of the terminals on both boxes. And on these boxes, you have pins to provide 24 volts of power to the cMT itself. You have 4 pins to enable the e-stop features on the cMT3106. You have 3 pins for the key switch, 1 for on, 1 for off, and 1 for COM. You have 4 terminals to enable the 3-position enable switch. You have 4 terminals for RS485 serial connections. You also have a pin that'll detect the cMT3106XM when it's connected and send 24 volts. You have some general ground pins, and on the standard connection box, you have 4 pins for LAN connections. Something to note is that on the compact box here, you have a LAN port right here that you can just use to plug in the regular Ethernet LAN cable that comes with this box, whereas on the standard box, you get a cable that you would wire up for serial connection. So it's raw wires on one end and an RJ45 cable end on this end. And you would have to wire up your Ethernet yourself through this guy. I've got the cMT3106XM right here, as well as a compact connector box here, wired up to 24 volts of power. I'm not going to demonstrate any sort of connectivity. I just want to show the unit powering on. But as you can see here, we have another optional thing you can add to your configurator for the cMT3106XM, and that is the bypass plug. What this bypass plug is useful for is it's useful for if you have multiple workstations that you want to move the cMT3106XM between, because if the plug is left open like this, then the e-stop connection circuit will also be open. And so this sort of allows you to close that circuit and bypass the e-stop functionality that's built into the cMT like so. And you just mount this by the chain next to your connection box and plug it in when the cMT is not plugged in. But now that we've gotten that unplugged, so there's a little red dot here on the connection thing, and I'm going to match that to the red dot on the connector terminal. And as I connect it, the unit receives power from the connection box. And then I'm able to wield it like so and do all of my HMI things that I want to do here. And as I disconnect it, it loses power. But that's the cMT3106XM. Well, that wraps up everything for today. Remember, if you need a tethered pendant with all the power of an HMI, then the cMT3106XM has you more than covered. If you thought this video was informative, we'd appreciate it if you gave us a like, and while you're down there, please subscribe so you'll be notified when we make more videos just like this one. If you'd like more information on the cMT3106XM or our full line of HMIs, visit maplesystems.com or reach out to our sales team at sales@maplesystems.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.